Getting Over It is a game made by Bennett. Foddy, you might know it. It was made more than 6 years ago and got extremely popular on YouTube, and a lot of popular YouTubers made a video on it. The videos were mostly just raging over the game's difficulty and for the mechanics of the game are moving around with a hammer in a pot, but the game gets progressively difficult over time, needing you to use more strategy. The locations even got a name by the community like the Devil's Chimney or the Orange Hell. But like I said, the game got mainly popular because of the YouTube videos, for example by Markiplier or even PewDiePie. The developer mentions a game where he got the inspiration, and talks about it throughout Getting Over It.
This game is a homage to a free game that came out in 2002, titled Sexy Hiking. The author of that game was Jazuo, a mysterious Czech designer who was known at the time as the father of B games. And B games are rough assemblages of found objects. Designers slap them together very quickly and freely, and they're often too rough and unfriendly to gain much of a following. They're built more for the joy of building them than as polished products. In a certain way, Sexy Hiking is the perfect embodiment of a B game. It's built almost entirely out of found and recycled parts, and it's one of the most unusual and unfriendly games of its time. In it, your task is simply to drag yourself up a mountain with a hammer. And that act of climbing, in the digital world or in real life, has certain essential properties that give the game its flavor. No amount of forward progress is guaranteed. Some cliffs are too sheer or too slippery. And the player is constantly, unremittingly in danger of falling and losing everything. Anyway, when you start Sexy Hiking, you're standing next to this dead tree that blocks the way to the entire rest of the game. It might take you an hour to get over that tree, and a lot of people never got past it. Of your reach and your strength, trying to find a way up and over. And there's a sense of truth in that lack of compromise. Most obstacles in video game worlds are fake. You can be completely confident in your ability to get through them, once you have the correct method, or the correct equipment, or just by spending enough time. In that sense, every pixelated obstacle in Sexy Hiking is real. The obstacles in Sexy Hiking are unyielding, and that makes the game uniquely frustrating. But I'm not sure Jazuo intended to make a frustrating game. The frustration is just essential to the act of climbing, and it's authentic to the process of building a game about climbing.
And that's not the only thing he talks about. When you fall down, he tells you a quote from a famous person.
Life is a mosaic of pleasure and pain. Grief is an interval between two moments of joy. Peace is the interlude between two wars. You have no rose without a thorn. The diligent picker will avoid the pricks and gather the flower. Satya Sai Baba.
Sexy Hiking character, who can be found on a floating rock beyond the tower. And when you reach it, the level completion sound from Sexy Hiking plays.
This game has a secret you can achieve by repeatedly going on the top of the mountain, and the more you go up the mountain your pot is more and more golden. When you reach a total of 50 playthroughs your pot becomes fully golden. When you decide that are going for this pot, you start to develop strategies to win the game as fast as possible, and with that in mind players started to develop speedrun strategies for the game, and over time this wasn't about the pot anymore, it was about beating the game as fast as possible and make it into the global leaderboard which players are competing to this day. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Please don't forget to subscribe and like. Thanks for watching.